Hey everybody, how we doing today? So today we got a 700. Look at that. Electronic fuel injection 700 twin. Anyhow, she won't start. Nothing. No lights, no power, nothing. So this is just a general run over of what to check. Now it could be a lot of different things, but this is the basics. So first thing you're going to want to check. Now what I do is take the ignition out and bring it over here so you can work on it and not have to be going back and forth. So on the ignition, what you're going to want to do is take your test light and you're going to want to check the orange wire going to your ignition. Now your test light should be on ground and we have no power coming in on the orange wire. The next thing you want to do is switch your test light over to check the ground circuit on the switch, which is the brown wire. And we have ground, okay? So that means that this key and ignition switch is good. Now if you had power on the orange wire and you had ground, then more than likely your problem is the ignition switch has gone bad. In this case though, it is not. So we don't have power going there. So the next thing you're going to want to check, come over here, this connector right here, you're going to want to check in here for any corrosion on both sides, and then take your test light and again put it back over on the ground of your battery. Okay, you're going to check your orange. You got a single orange, we're going to check that. Okay, we have nothing. Then you have a double orange. All right, so we got power on the double orange. Now the double orange here, that is for the four-wheel drive in your cigarette lighter. Okay, so we've got power there. However, here's the strange thing: the key's off, but we have power. Should not have power there until the key is on. So no power here, and we're going to check the other side of the single orange. No power. Now if you had power on the input side but nothing on the output side, then more than likely it's a connection inside the connector that's bad. In this case we don't have power on either side, so more than likely it's not the connector, but we're still going to open it up and check it for any corrosion, any burning, any debris. And this one looks good. All right. So now you're going to want to come up to your PDM, power distribution module. Pull your top plug off. You're going to look in here and you're going to inspect it. Same thing. Look for any corrosion, any dirt, any burning. Okay, everything looks good, and then you're going to look in here for the same thing, and everything in there looks fine. So now what we're going to want to do is you got your power coming in from the battery, and then that's the heavy red, and then you have your heavy brown, which is your chassis ground. So we're going to want to check those first. So right now I've got the test light on the ground on the battery, so we're going to check the power. You just come over here, and there you go. We have power. So that means that the PDM is getting power straight from the battery. It's coming over here, feeding the PDM. Now, if we did not have power on this, then you're going to want to look in the circuit from here over to the battery, which is just a wire goes over to the distribution block. And you could have a broken wire. But in this case, we have power. So we're good on that. Then let's check our ground. So we're going to switch over to the power on the battery. And we're going to check the brown wire, which is this guy down here. And we're good. So we have chassis ground. So that means the PDM is getting 12 volts from the battery and it's getting ground from the chassis. So what we're going to want to do now is plug this guy back in. Okay. And What you're going to want to do is take an alligator clip, and I use these are pin out tools for taking the wires out of connectors. They also work good as like little back jumpers. Now you can use anything, a paper clip. What you're going to want to do is come in on your single orange on this connector, just feed it in like that, okay? Take an alligator clip, hook onto it, and then take that alligator clip and hook it onto the power of the battery. Now we're going to check. Am I on the power of the battery? Yeah, I'm on the power of the battery. Oh, that's why. I got to switch over here. Give me a second, guys. Ah, there we go. All right, we're going to switch over. Now we're going to check here. All right, so we got power coming in. Now go on the back side of your plug, and we've got power. So basically what we're doing is we're testing, because I'm suspecting we don't have power. We got power going into this, but we don't have power coming out to feed the accessories. Because this is essentially, it's the power distribution module. Takes power in, and then on all these orange wires, it distributes power to all your accessories. So we've got power coming in. So now what we're going to want to do is take our key. Now, here's a little trick I do. With the hood up, turn your headlights on. So when you turn the key on, look, I don't know if y'all can see that. We've got headlights now. See, the headlights are on. All right. Let's give it a crank, see what happens. Look at that. Now it's not firing, okay? Which I'm suspecting that all these orange wires are dead. Not the wires themselves, but the PDM is not feeding. Now, basically, your feeds, everything goes, one goes to the ECM for the fuel injection, one goes to the key, in the headlights, another one goes for the fan control, another one's for the fuel pump control. So I'm suspecting that this module has gone bad. Now I'm going to show you something quick here. So let me grab my test light. We're going to grab you guys and we're going to come over here. Now, I've already taken this all apart. Let's get you guys down here where y'all can see. Okay, so here's your ECM. Okay, so what you're going to want to do also is check to make sure you have power coming into the ECM. So basically unplug this, and on here there's 3 little tabs. See these little tabs right here? So you just kind of release these 3 tabs, and then the clamshell opens up. So now you can look at all your wires, all right? So kind of the same thing. You're gonna wanna look in here for any corrosion, any burning, and everything looks good. And then you're gonna find your orange wires. Now the ECM is gonna have 2 coming into it. The first one is the 5th one in here. So we're gonna come onto here and we're gonna count 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's the 5th one. Put your test light in there and we have nothing. All right, and then your other one is on the other side of the connector, and it's the 2nd one in right here. Okay, so we're gonna count 2 in. 1, 2. Same thing. Set your test light in. Nothing. Now we backfed the ignition switch power, but we really can't. I don't recommend backfeeding into the ECM because you can cause lots of issues. And generally these ECMs don't go bad. They're Bosch. They're really, really good systems, and they generally don't go bad. So we don't have power coming in to here. All right, so let's go back up front. And let's see if the taillights are working. Let's see here. Headlights are on. Yep, taillights are working, so yeah. We've got a bad PDM, guys. So hang on, let's get you guys back here where y'all can see what's going on. All right. Now, another thing I want to show y'all. Now this connector, this is for the charging end of the PDM. What you're going to want to do, and this is how these are. If y'all look right there, see the burn? That's from the stator. Okay, so we got some burning there. Overheating, because when these go bad, all the power from the stator basically has nowhere to go. So this plug, excuse me, is probably going to need to be replaced. And we're going to look in here. Now it's not really burned in there, so that's not too bad. But that's the charging end of it. So there you go. That's a pretty easy way to see what's going on and figure out if the PDM is bad. Now, like I said, these go bad a lot. I've replaced a lot of them in 500s and 330s, and 9 times out of 10, that's your culprit for a no start condition. No start, no power. So, but yeah. So we're gonna get a PDM ordered for this thing. I'm gonna get everything cleaned up. Somebody was in here, they were checking wires and all that, but so there you go, guys. Hopefully this helps you guys to get a little better understanding on how the electrical system all works. It's very simple, very easy. So, oh, and the 570's coming along. Not too bad. So, all right, y'all. Well, till the next time, I'll catch you all around.